Randy, in the front right here. Before we get into the fight talk, what did you make of the welcome to the country ceremony with the dancing in the park and everything?
I thought that was cool as hell. Yeah, I thought that was dope. It's a country rich in culture, so I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was pretty funny. They had us bouncing around, acting like kangaroos and all that, and emus, but it was cool. It was a cool experience.
And your opponent, Jack, he was there too. Is it weird being around him in settings like that, or is it just you view this as business?
Not necessarily. I've been here, done this so many different times. It's not necessarily. I just view it as business. I'm not really too worried about that.
And there's obviously a lot of hype around Jack, especially in this part of the world. He's looked very, very good in his first few fights, but I think people might not realize how long you've been fighting in the UFC. Do you kind of feel like you're being overlooked in this fight, given how all the hype around Jack in his home country?
Shiny new toy. That's how I always see it. Shiny new toy. And all the hype is well deserved. He's really good. It's just I am being overlooked. But listen, I've been overlooked my entire career. That's just the nature of my story, I guess. So I don't really look into it too much. I just take it as it is. Another guy that I need to get out of there. It's one of those situations where you got to go and get it if you want it. I think I've been here a long time. I've put in a lot of work, and anyone else on a 4-fight win streak and beating the guys that I've beaten, or in my situation, 7-1 in my last 8 or 6-1 in my last 7, anyone else would have already been fighting the top 15. I didn't have to take this fight, you know what I mean? But I didn't want to sit around and wait. I wanted to go out there and go make a statement. So why not? How better not to do it than to how much better how not to do? What's the easiest way to do that? Is to come into someone's hometown and beat them, a young prospect like this. So it is what it is.
Saying you think you've been overlooked your whole career, why do you think that is, given your how impressive your wins have been lately?
I don't know. Sometimes we got a guy that has 3 KOs back to back or 4 KOs back to back. That's impressive. I guess you're only as good as your last one in this game. You know what I mean? And my last one, I didn't go out there and start somebody up. You know what I mean? So they just judge you off of that. But if you know what you're looking at, this is not an easy fight for anyone. So I don't know. People, what have you done for me lately? That's what it is.
Sure. And unrelated to this fight, but obviously there's a lot of hype around, the Contender Series winners and everything. There's not too many winners of Dana White looking for a fight left in the UFC. Do you kind of view yourself as one of the last people to fly that flag and represent that show? 100%.
Every time I fight, so that's what I say. It's Dana White Contender Series versus the looking for a fight. So yeah, I still got the belt. I took it from Mickey Gall. Yeah. I'm still rocking it.
And so when the fight's all said and done, what does the headline read after this fight, after your fight?
Randy Brown takes Perth by storm.
And then final one for me, unrelated to this fight. Are you going to be able to watch the Super Bowl at all, being all the way over in Perth?
I'm going to try. I'm going to try.
Who you got winning that?
I don't know.
Yeah, Randy. Yeah, I just wanted to get your thoughts on the Usman and Leon Edwards fight that's happening.
I'm looking forward to that, man. Both those guys are tremendous athletes, and both of them are super inspirational, from their stories and just the work that they've put in and the competition that they've faced. I think it's going to be a great fight. May the best man win. That's all I got.
Okay. And the main event as well for this event, who you pulling for there?
I like both guys. I'd love to see Volk get it done. I think Volkanovski's a really good dude. I think he has a good chance. Tough task for sure, but I believe if he's able to continuously stop those takedowns, or not even stop them, because I don't think he will, but I do think if he's able to get up continuously and still, show that perseverance, I think he gets it done.
And Randy, just wanted to ask, are you ready to perhaps be the least liked fighter during the card because you're taking on a local boy in Jack Della?
They can't fight for him. Them not liking me doesn't matter to me. You could not like me all you want, but you're going to love me after my performance. That's it, And I understand it, but at the end of the day, it's just booze. People always say that. It's like, oh, whoa, especially when I fought in Brazil. It's like, oh, man, you go enemy territory, going to Brazil. And I'm like, what y'all want me to do? What you want me to say? Like, it's not like they're going to be throwing shit in the cage and kicking. Remember when Renzo Gracie fought? Renzo Gracie fought some guy in Brazil, and they, like, stabbing him through the cage. People make it seem like that's what it's going to be. It's just people yelling. If he wants to yell, they're going to yell and boo me. That's fine, but the fight's the fight. They can't fight for him.
And do you think Jack Della's on your level?
I think he's a great fighter. I think he's never faced anyone at my level yet, but he's a tremendous athlete, and I think he's really, really good, and he has a ton of potential, but I think we're catching him at a good time.
And finally, the obligatory Australian question. What's been your favourite thing about Australia?
Everybody said kangaroos, right? We went to the zoo, and we saw the quokkas. I did get to hang out with some kangaroos. In particular, I really like Perth, though. I like how clean the streets are. The streets are really clean. I really love everybody does the speed limit. In New York, we do not do the speed limit at all. So it was cool to see how everyone is. Everyone's really polite, so I really like the people. It's cool. And
I don't want to correct you because you scare me, but it's quokka.
Is it a quokka?
Yes, quokka.
Why do I scare you?
Quokka.
Why do I scare you?
Just because you are very talented and you could kill me if you wanted to, but you don't want to, which is great, and we love to have you here in Perth. I just wanted to wish you best of luck from everyone in Perth. We do love you, even though the booze will come on Sunday.
All right, who you root for?
Jack Della, because you only have a few days where you could kill me. Jack lives here.
All right, well, I might kill you before I leave.
Damn it. Thank you.
So, just you've said that you're diligent and strategic. So I imagine that you've looked at Jack quite a lot and analysed him. Where do you see the major weaknesses in his game?
I'm not really just going to come up here and give you my plan. I'm supposed to just come up here and give you my plan because you asked. I guess we'll just have to see. I did watch him quite a bit. I think he's talented. But I do think that he has a great skill set that is good, the skill set that he needs to beat me. And I think that I have the skill set and the style that is needed to beat him. It's a matter of who can endure the longest and who can persevere and who can execute their game plan for the longest. So it's going to be a battle of attrition and discipline.
Over here, Randy. You talked about the booze not really affecting you because I can't fight for him in the cage. Mm-hmm. And on the flip side of that, when you're fighting at home, do the cheering and stuff affect you much as well, or do you kind of just block it all out when you're walking into that cage? It's on a person-to-person basis, I believe. I believe that some people use that energy to put a battery in their back. You know what I mean? It's also a lot of pressure. Some people use it. It affects people negatively because it's a lot of pressure. It's your friends, your families. You don't want to get hurt in front of, your parents, in front of, your teachers and people that's known you your whole life. So there's a lot of factors, but it just depends on who the person is. I'm pretty easygoing and I don't really have much of an ego. I'm just kind of So for me, I'm nonchalant. Nothing really bothers me too tough. So I'm chilling. And you haven't travelled much outside of the United States for your fights, and this is probably the furthest you've travelled. Does factoring in the time difference and climate difference come into your training camps and acclimatizing and stuff like that? Yeah, that was a major factor, but we took that into consideration early. So I made sure that I downloaded some apps, to kind of help me with did some research to help me with the jet lag. So I was doing something called light therapy, leading up to leaving. So the jet lag didn't bother me too much. And also, I was here since like the 31st or something like that. So I've been here for a little bit. So I'm adjusted pretty good. And last question, when you do travel, you've been doing a lot of touristy stuff, and I caught you shopping just after the media welcome as well at Culture Kings. Nice. My guy. Just going around and taking in the city that you're visiting, does that kind of just something you have to do to help you kind of relax and leading into fight week? It's not something that I have to do, but I think it's something that's cool and it should be done because personally, I don't want to make things bigger than what they really are. It is a great moment. This is a huge moment, and it's beautiful. But I was taught by my coach and my sensei from a long time ago at a young age. It's just all of this is just glitz and glams. All of this is it's great, and it's a part of what we need. All of this, right? But
what it comes down to, it ultimately, only things that matters is the fight of me and this guy fighting. So for me, I want it to be as much as like I'm back home. So me and my friends, we're hanging out, you know, we at the house just kicking it, you know, and we're playing Among Us, you know what I mean, in different rooms, people yelling. So it's just, I want it to feel like I'm home. And then when it's time to go train or go fight, I go fight, you know. So yeah, I'm walking around, I'm shopping, I'm not cooped up just thinking about the fight the whole time. I'm just chilling. So it's not that I have to do it, but I think it's just better to just hang out.
Randy, going off that right here. You say you focus on the fight, but it's like a big opportunity, right? Like especially tomorrow, you have the press conference, and you'll be out there with the 2 title fights. Like, do you think about maybe this is the first time certain fans will see me on this platform, and like I want to make a good account of myself or make an impression, or do you just go there and be yourself?
You can't help but think about that, for sure. For sure you think about that. And someone like me, I think I'm a showman at heart. I want to go out there and put on great performances. You know, I want people to enjoy my fight, you know. But it's not at the forefront. It's not at the forefront. Ultimately, I need to get the dub to move forward and continue to change my life and my family's life.